Okay, so the goal is to look like I got 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep and that I don't have a chronic illness. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, right? Hey y'all, welcome to my little corner of the internet. If you don't know, my name is Morgan and I have MG. So let's do a little get ready with me for a date night and chat a little bit about MG because June is actually MG Awareness Month. So grab your coffee, your concealer, your contour, and that's a little chronic illness chat, if we will. Okay. So if you have not heard of MG, do not worry. You're not alone. I didn't hear about it until I was diagnosed with it. Going in, want to moisturize the face with the little Kiehl's. Acting real crazy lately, as you can tell. But as I always like to say, we are going to embrace and give a little grace. So we always want to make sure we're moisturized because dryness is not where it's at, right? After moisturizing, we're just going to do a little bit of skin prep. So I always start with brows and face. So I'm going to start with brows. I'm going to do my primer for my brows and then my primer for my face. I'm not a makeup girly. Funny thing, I was getting into makeup right before I got diagnosed with the MG, and then after you've been diagnosed, you kind of don't feel like getting glam. So this is new. I'm starting to trying to find my way, my weed. So back to MG. MG is a neuromuscular autoimmune disease or chronic illness, and that basically means that it affects the voluntary muscles of the body. So some things you do without even, thinking about it, but other things you control. So things like speech, things like breathing, talking, chewing, swallowing, moving your arm, those type of things. Okay. I know some people like a thinner brow. I'm a thick brow girly. I need my brows to like be there. Pencil thins have never been for me. So for me and in my MG journey, my symptoms showed up really subtle at first, and then they just got really, really aggressive. And I think it's funny because a lot of times I feel like our bodies do talk to us. They tell us things are going on, and we're just not in tune. We're not listening. And so it's kind of like a parent of a child. You trying to gentle parent, you talking to them sweetly, you talking to them nicely, you ask them to do something 2 or 3 times, and then it's not until you put that tone, that bass in your voice to turn up on them that you get the results. Our body do the same thing. And like I tried to tell you, you wasn't paying attention, so now here we are. You only have yourself to blame. So yeah, me, I like a full brow and a simple eye. So I'm going to use my concealer as also like an eye primer, optional. But then I'm also probably just going to go in with one of my favorite shades. It's this Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. My favorite shade is Morocco. Y'all gonna see in a minute. It's down bad. It's down bad. Um, as I mentioned before, one of the only visible symptoms of MG that others can see is the ocular part, which is the droopy lid. And that, of course, is something that I know I personally really, really struggled with. Waking up and looking like you potentially had a stroke on one side of your face is never anyone's idea of fun. I know it's not for me. Look at this. Y'all can tell that's the only color I really be using. when you like something, you like something. Uh, yeah, so it's looking like you had a stroke. So that, or even having to wear like the eye patch, and the eye patch isn't for the droopy lid. I mean, it can cover it or hide it, but the eye patch is really for the double vision portion. So that is a whole other beast, a whole other element. I struggled when I was wearing my eye patch as well, because I mean, you go get some looks wearing an eye patch. There's no way around it. And you want to talk about a struggle, try putting on eyeliner with double vision. They might not be drooping, but they watering. So I know this is a beauty video and everything, air quote beauty, because I don't know what I'm doing really. But having a chronic illness will humble you, will humble the F out of you. Um, but I also think that you can find power and strength in that realm of vulnerability. You know, some days I feel so strong and unstoppable, and the other days I have to sit down because I got put down. You know what I'm saying? And both experiences, both days, I'm honoring myself. I'm being my true self. I'm being the best Morgan I can be that day. You know, I remember there were days I didn't want to be seen. I literally, if I could have disappeared, I would have, which is funny because chronic illness is are also called invisible illnesses when you can't see all of the symptoms, right? I wanted to be invisible, you know, but this journey has taught me that you can have grace in all those days and all those moments and all those times, and just learning to pause and be present and find the joy in those moments has helped me, you know, come to the other side. I won't say that I'm like perfect or every day is amazing, because I still do have days where I'm like this really sucks, because it sucks. Who wants to be ill? But you know, just because I decide to look good one day doesn't mean that I also don't have a chronic illness. You know, I do think that I was one of those people who, before I had a chronic illness or invisible illness, would be more judgmental about, oh, they're not really sick or different things like that. But you never know what anyone in life is battling, illness or not. You never know what's going on behind closed doors, because we have been conditioned to put on these faces for the world, you know, social media, internet. That's part of everyone else is so happy. Why aren't we happy? We can't share that we were in bed down bad for days at a time. I mean, you can, but it don't get the same response. It don't invoke that same, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a different world. But it's our world. So just to reiterate, looking good, taking pride in your presentation does not mean you are not sick. And I use the word sick loosely because illness does not necessarily mean sickness, if you get what I'm saying. Hope I'm explaining myself correctly. To all my fellow spoonies out there, put on the outfit, do what makes you feel good, put on the makeup, whatever that thing is, you know what I'm saying? You deserve that joy and that spark just like anybody else. I see you. Yes, we're tired, but we're also powerful. We're beautiful. Those things can coexist. It's just up to us to create them for ourselves. All right, this is the final look. A face brought to you by a whole lot of prayer, and go ahead and push through, because like I said, I'm not a makeup artist. I don't do my face often, but it is something that I want to get back into, just to kind of give myself that little when I have the energy to do so. But if there's one thing that I really wish that people understood about MG is that, yes, today I beat my face. Tomorrow, or maybe for the next weeks, month, you may not see me with a beat face for the rest of the year. I don't know. It just depends on how I feel, and that's the nature of MG. One day I have really, really great days, really high highs. They could be followed with really, really low lows. I'm about to go ahead and throw on my clothes. If you like this vibe, if it was something that you enjoyed and you want me to kind of do more of these things, the chat part or the makeup part, or just kicking it with you guys, please make sure you give me a follow. June is MG Awareness Month, so I definitely want to do my part to spread more awareness about this illness that has literally impacted my life and changed my life in so many ways. Sending you grace, grit, and a little bit of glow.